Hello, Stampers, and welcome to another episode of Make It Monday with me, your host, Laura Buechler from Inkyfingers Papercrafting. So excited to be here with you again, as I am every Monday, to remind you that creativity is fun, creativity is good for us, and creativity is for everyone. I got to have a crafting class this morning at my house. Two lovely ladies who are friends came over to my house and I taught them how to do some new crafting techniques, well, new to them. And we did some embossing and some die cutting and some stamping, and we just had so much fun. They got to make 3 cards each, and it was such a lovely time. So if you are ever interested in getting together for a crafting class, go ahead, hit up my website, inkyfingers.ca/class, and you can check out what's going on at my classes. And if you have a couple of friends that you'd like to get together with for a class, I'm happy to come to you, or we can meet here at my place, whatever you like. So we are going to get crafting today. We are using the beautiful new in colors. Now, if you didn't know, Stampin' Up! Introduces 5 new colors every year, and those colors will be with us for 2 years, and they are called the in colors. So let's have a look at what we have for the in colors. We have Golden Glow, which I've made this card with Golden Glow. I love making a set of monochromatic cards for the new in colors. We've got Hydrangea Hue, which, ooh, I love this one. This one might be my favorite. Isn't that beautiful? And then we have Peaceful Pine. There's our Peaceful Pine card. And if you're looking at these ink pads going, gee, these look a little different from what I'm used to, you're right. Crisp Cantaloupe. I'm going to show you all the new exciting stuff with these ink pads. And here is Barely Blush. It is so subtle, right? So gorgeous. If you're watching with me live, why don't you go ahead in the comments and tell me which color you'd like me to use for the card I make today, because we got 5 options. I might sit here and make 5 cards if I've got people to craft with me and hang out with me today. Let's see. But before I get crafting, I want to show you these ink pads. These are, let's see, I'm going to look at the Crisp Cantaloupe ones. This is a magnetic ink pad. So when I say magnetic, what I mean is like these are sticking together, right? As I pick up one, they stick together. So the lid and the base are magnetic. And when you open it up, see how it kind of like pulls back together? Look at that. I know a lot of people have had trouble with our current ink pads, how to open them, how to close them. These are easy. And they have the same awesome function that our current ink pads have, where the ink pad is actually in the lid, meaning when it's stored, which most of the time an ink pad is closed and stored and not in use, sadly. There's only so many hours in the day that we can dedicate to crafting. So the other hours of the day, the ink pad is closed and the ink pad is stored upside down, which means that all the ink is coming to the surface. And when you're ready to stamp with it, you don't have to dig down to the bottom of the pad to get the ink, because it's already at the surface here for you. So when you buy these new ink pads, they come with a set of stickers, which you can see I've already peeled off the stickers and put them on all the various places. I like having one here, so when it's in my storage, I can see what color it is. And then I put one on the lid and one on the base, so we can easily make sure that we match them back together. I put one at the back. Of course, they're not all English. They're all in different languages. But anyway, these ink pads are magnificent. They come with like this little groove here to put your fingers, so it's so easy to pull them apart. And what is going to happen right now, the brand new in colors that you're seeing me play with here today are going to be available to you. They're available for everybody to purchase in the beginning of May, starting with this beautiful catalog, right? Let's see, when does that start? May 5th. That's going to start. If you don't have a catalog, drop a comment and I'll make sure that I can get a catalog to you. If you live in Canada, that is. So starting May 5th, you will be able to buy these new in colors including these marvelous magnetic ink pads. And then over the next couple of years, Stampin' Up! Is going to transition to using these ink pads exclusively. They've already given us a heads up that there's going to be a color refresh coming up in 2027. So the new ink pads, or the new let's start over. The new colors that are introduced at that time are going to use those new style of ink pads. Okay, I see that nobody put any comments about what color we should use. So I'm just going to pick the color that's on the top of my stack. And I meant to have all these stamps ready, but I'll be honest, I was crafting. I was busy crafting before I came online for my video. So I'm going to use Just a Little Hello from the Cutest Crew stamp set. Cutest Crew, by the way, is one of the ones that I've participated in a bundle of the month. Let's see if I have a little banner about that. Yes, I do. Inkyfingers.ca/on-demand to get a virtual class featuring that bundle. Okay, so what I have done here is I've got 2 different pieces of paper. This is the In Color Designer Series paper, and I have already made these marks on the sides of the paper. So right here is halfway, like the halfway mark, height-wise, and then these 2 are halfway between this, and halfway between this and this. So basically 1/4 and then 3/4 of the height of the Designer Series paper. So what I'm going to do is grab my trimmer, and I'm going to line up these marks that I've made. And in fact, I can cut both pieces of paper at the same time. I'm going to line up the marks and just cut from one to the other, and then again, one to the other, cutting diagonally to create this fun card layout. Okay, so I could just easily just put this whole beautiful piece of Designer Series paper on my card. That would be fine, but wouldn't it be more fun if we mixed it up? So I'm going to lay these all down. One of the fun things about this particular design, so I can flip one over, and now that's got a different design. And then I can do tradesies, and now I've got 3 different designs here. I can flip this one over, and then I can put it down here. They're interchangeable. Okay, ooh, look at that. Okay, so we got 3 different designs on each one, and we're using all 4 of the different designs that come on the In Color Designer Series paper. So when you buy the In Color Designer Series paper, you get a huge stack, 12 by 12 paper, multiple sheets in each of these colors and each of these patterns. So these beautiful colors that I showed you earlier, right? And you can see I've just done the same thing on each of these cards. I've cut multiple papers and multiple card bases, and I've just made those little marks. Speaking of which, I'm going to use my eraser and take those pencil marks off because I don't want those on my card. And then you can just do mixy-matchy until you like your combination of patterns, right? And I'm ready now to put them onto the card. Okay, so this is the Crisp Cantaloupe color. It happened to be on the top of my pile, and so that's the one I'm making. And this is just going to decorate the card just with these pretty patterns. I like Crisp Cantaloupe. It's kind of I wouldn't describe it as a pink. It's kind of a peach. It's kind of a cantaloupe, honestly. It's very fresh. It's very fresh and springy. So I'm going to end up, see how I put the bottom and the top ones on first, and then I'm going to add this one in the middle. That makes it easy for me to put it exactly in the center. So I just not worried, but I focused on lining up these 2 points here with the top and the bottom piece, and then slide the triangle in between. And there's a little bit of a gap, and that's totally fine. It's not a problem. If there wasn't a gap, that would also not be a problem. Okay, put that aside. I'll put that one together later. Now, what I did before the video is I cut out, or I used my 2 3/8 inch punch to punch a bunch of circles from the different colors of cardstock. And then I ran them through with my Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. So that's what they look like. And I did that so I wouldn't have to bring my machine over onto the table. And now I've got a whole bunch of circles that are just ready to go. So now I'm going to grab my 2-inch circle, and I need some white cardstock. And I'm actually going to just punch a few of these, because why not? I've obviously cut out a lot of these cards that I'm going to create, either today or next time I have time in my craft room. So might as well punch a few of those circles while I'm at it. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment in my crisp cantaloupe ink. All right. So I see we've got a couple people joining live. Go ahead and let me know where you've tuned in from and what you think of the new style of the Stampin' Up! Ink pads. Okay, just a little hello. And then that pops right back on there. I can put it over to the side. Okay, let's pop this onto my circle. The cool thing about circles and plaid is it's like, it doesn't really matter which orientation that plaid goes, right? As long as the sentiment's right side up, we're good to go. I need some dimensionals to put that on the card. And we're just about ready to go here. So, okay, cantaloupe, crisp cantaloupe card, just about complete. What color should I do next? Barely Blush, Peaceful Pine, Golden Glow, or Hydrangea Hue? So many options. While you're thinking about that, I'm going to find my embellishments. They're buried under this pile of stamps. And I've got some beautiful new in-color embellishments. I'm going to pop some of these onto my card. How about right here and right up there? Just a little hello. How pretty is that? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side. I don't see anybody voting on what color card I should make next. Let's just take a blind pick. Hydrangea Hue. So this one I did already do the cutting. I showed you earlier how to do that. So now I just get to decide where I'm putting these pieces, which side I want them to show. You can see that the polka dot side, it's got these big blurry kind of watercolory dots, and then on the other side it's got much more precise polka dot pattern. And same with the stripes. We've got the more watercolor stripes pattern, and then on the back the more precise stripes pattern. And I think it's cool to mix them up. I don't know, I just like that vibe. What do you think? So Hydrangea Hue, I would say when you hear hydrangea, you think purple. And this is kind of a purple, but it's also very blue. It's a very blue purple. And I am not complaining. I really like it. I love blue, as you probably know. It's my favorite color. So I'm never going to complain when there's another beautiful blue color in the Stampin' Up! Family for me to play with. And this one is quite a cool color. It's quite a, I find it really peaceful. Where we had crisp cantaloupe is very fresh and bright. The hydrangea hue is very mellow and peaceful, but also cheerful. Certainly not a depressing color. So you can see, by the way, too, I did this on purpose, that some of the stripy paper is vertical and some of it is horizontal. So lots of different ways to play with this paper. Okay, I'm going to stamp a different sentiment this time, which is from the Sunset Coast stamp set. And it's going to be this one, You Brighten My Day. Isn't that a lovely sentiment? There's so many people in my life who brighten my day. I hope there are in your life too. So, okay, this is a lucky day for me. The 3 things that I have on my calendar today are all crafting related. I had my craft class this morning, crafting with 2 lovely humans. And then this, Make It Monday, crafting here with you. And then tonight, I'm crafting with some friends on Zoom. It's a good day, my friends. And actually, yesterday, I spent most of the day crafting here in my craft room, which was probably the first time all month that I got to just spend the day doing that. April is the busiest month of the year for me at work, and I'm often working overtime, and even when I'm not working, I'm just kind of worn out from all the intense stuff going on at work at this time of year. So I just haven't had time or mental capacity to spend a whole day in the craft room just doing my thing. And that's what I got to do yesterday, and it was bliss. Very grateful for that. Okay, so let's pop some dimensionals onto here. And just about finished with card number 2. And I think that's going to be all we do on today's video, folks. So I would love to hear in the comments your opinions on the new ink pads and or the new in colors. As I said, if you're local to Nanaimo and you want to come to one of my in-person classes, check that out at the link. And you will get to play with these ink pads in person. Try them out for yourself. There we go. You brighten my day. Okay, so let's get the whole collection out here so you can see all the colors one more time before we wrap up. There we go. Those are the new in colors. All right, what do you think? Let me know which ones are your favorite, which ones you'd like to play with first. Thank you so much for joining me today, and don't forget to take some creative time for yourself this week. And if you're looking for supplies or inspiration or how-to ideas, be sure to check out my website at inkyfingers.ca. I hope you have a great day and happy stamping, everyone. Bye-bye.